Right at this exact second, millions of people around the world are staring at a plate of food, feeling a deep sense of guilt. You might be one of them. You have been told that eating a simple bowl of white rice or a slice of warm bread is the reason you cannot lose weight. You have been told to blindly count every single calorie, to weigh your food, and to constantly fight your own hunger. But the terrifying truth is, the billion-dollar diet industry has been lying to you. They are deliberately hiding a biological miracle that happens inside your gut, simply because they cannot bottle it and sell it to you. The brutal truth is that eating a plate of carbohydrates does not automatically make you fat. The trap is not what you are eating, but the exact order in which you put that food into your mouth. Today, I am going to reveal a molecular biology secret that will completely change the way you look at your next meal. We are not going to cut out your favorite foods. Instead, we are going to use a clinical research-backed method called food sequencing to hack your digestive system. Imagine you are sitting at a restaurant. The waiter brings out a basket of fresh, warm bread. You are starving, so you reach for a piece and eat it on an empty stomach. In other words, you have just initiated a catastrophic biochemical reaction. As that bread hits your stomach, the starches are rapidly broken down into glucose. Because your stomach is empty, there is absolutely no physiological barrier to slow this process down. That glucose rushes directly into your small intestine and violently crashes into your bloodstream like a biological tsunami. This massive spike in blood sugar forces your pancreas to panic. It rapidly pumps out a massive amount of insulin to clear the glucose from your blood. Insulin is essentially the fat storage hormone. Its primary job is to take that excess energy and lock it away inside your fat cells, silently destroying your metabolic flexibility. But it does not stop there. Here is the craziest part. About 2 hours after you eat that bread on an empty stomach, your blood sugar levels crash hard. This crash sends an emergency alarm to your brain. Your neurons actually interpret this rapid drop in energy as a survival threat. This is why you suddenly feel exhausted, irritable, and overwhelmed by an uncontrollable craving for something sweet right in the middle of the afternoon. You think you are just weak or lacking willpower. You blame yourself. But it is not your fault at all. You are simply trapped in a neurotoxin-like cycle of glucose spikes and crashes, completely orchestrated by the way you started your meal. Now, let us rewrite that exact same scenario using the gold standard of nutritional science. You are at the same restaurant. The bread is still on the table. You are still going to eat it. But this time, you order a plate of green salad or roasted broccoli, and you eat that first. You chew your vegetables, swallow them, and wait just a few minutes before touching the carbohydrates. By making this one tiny adjustment, you are activating a powerful biological cleaning machine inside your body. The secret lies in the soluble fiber found in those vegetables. Unlike carbohydrates or proteins, the human body cannot digest fiber. So, as that broccoli travels down into your stomach and enters your small intestine, it mixes with water to form a thick, viscous biological gel. I want you to visualize this gel as a literal suit of armor coating the walls of your intestines. It creates a physical and physiological barrier that completely changes the rules of digestion. Now, when you finally eat that piece of bread, the starches are still broken down into glucose. But this time, the glucose does not rush into your bloodstream. Instead, it gets tangled up in that thick mesh of vegetable fiber. The absorption process is drastically slowed down. It trickles into your blood, drop by drop, rather than crashing in like a massive wave. By simply eating the vegetables first, you have completely flattened the glucose curve. And because the blood sugar rises slowly and gently, your pancreas stays perfectly calm. It releases a small, controlled amount of insulin. There is no biological panic. There is no massive fat storage signal. Your body uses that energy efficiently instead of locking it away around your organs. Let us dive deeper into the molecular biology of this process, because the diet industry absolutely refuses to tell you how your internal ecosystem actually operates. When you eat carbohydrates on an empty stomach, you are not just spiking your insulin. You are actively starving the trillion-cell army living inside you. Your gut microbiome relies heavily on that plant fiber to survive. When you prioritize the bread and pasta, those beneficial microbes are left without fuel. But when you build that veggie armor first, you are feeding the microbiome the exact prebiotics they need to thrive. As these microbes feast on the fiber mesh you just created, they undergo a fascinating biochemical reaction, producing short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. Butyrate is a biological miracle. It acts as a powerful anti-inflammatory agent that heals the lining of your gut, sealing up the microscopic gaps that cause leaky gut syndrome. Even more incredibly, these short-chain fatty acids travel directly to your brain, signaling your nervous system that you are full and satisfied. They trigger the natural release of GLP-1, the exact same satiety hormone that modern, multi-billion-dollar weight loss drugs are designed to mimic. Yes, you heard that correctly. By simply eating a bowl of broccoli or spinach before your main course, you are triggering your body to produce its own natural weight loss medication, completely for free, without any synthetic chemicals or dangerous side effects. This is not some internet diet fad or a random placebo effect. This is hard science, proven by clinical research time and time again. Studies have shown that simply changing the order of your food, eating vegetables first, followed by proteins and fats, and leaving carbohydrates for the very end can flatten your glucose spike by up to 73%. Let that sink in for a moment. You are eating the exact same meal. You are consuming the exact same number of calories. The only difference is the chronological order in which the food enters your stomach. Yet, the biochemical reaction inside your body is completely transformed. You are literally hacking your own metabolic system to prevent a massive insulin dump. By doing this, you instantly shift your body out of an emergency fat storage mode and reset it back to its natural fat-burning state. To truly understand the magnitude of this molecular shift, we have to look at what happens inside your liver when you ignore this biological sequence. When you consume naked carbohydrates, the massive surge of glucose overwhelms your liver cells. Your liver is essentially the master filtration system of your body, but it has a very strict physiological barrier. When it is flooded with excessive glucose and high levels of insulin at the exact same time, it panics. It cannot process the energy fast enough, so it converts the overflow directly into triglycerides. These triglycerides are then aggressively packed into your liver and around your abdominal organs, creating a highly toxic layer of visceral fat. This is the invisible, suffocating fat that silently destroys your metabolic health and drives chronic inflammation. But the moment you deploy your veggie armor, you completely dismantle this toxic pathway. Think about the immense freedom this biological mechanism gives you. You no longer have to fear carbohydrates. You do not have to banish pasta, rice, or bread from your life forever, or suffer through miserable restrictive diets that drain your soul and your energy. You just need to build your protective shield first. If you are eating a steak with potatoes and a side salad, you absolutely must start with the salad. You let the fiber create that protective mesh inside your digestive tract. Then, you eat the protein and the fat from the steak, which further slows down gastric emptying. Finally, you enjoy your potatoes. By the time those starchy carbs hit your system, your bloodstream is protected, your insulin is stable, and your brain is receiving a steady, calm supply of energy, instead of a chaotic dopamine crash. This simple sequencing trick is a profound awakening for your physiological health. When you consistently flatten your glucose curves, you are doing so much more than just losing stubborn belly fat. You are reversing insulin resistance at the cellular level by allowing your insulin receptors to finally rest and regain their sensitivity. You are clearing up the brain fog that has been plaguing you every afternoon, which is just a symptom of neural energy starvation. You are dramatically lowering systemic inflammation throughout your entire body, and you are finally giving your hormones a chance to balance themselves out naturally. The constant gnawing hunger that you thought was a sign of a weak mindset will simply vanish. It disappears because your brain is no longer trapped in a desperate cycle of glucose withdrawal. You are finally in absolute control. The medical establishment and the fitness industry often complicate weight loss to sell you expensive programs, supplements, and meal plans. They blind you with calorie-counting math while ignoring the profound biochemical reactions happening inside your own tissues. They refuse to tell you that the timing and the sequence of your macros are vastly more important than the arbitrary caloric value assigned to them. But now, you know the truth. You understand the molecular biology of digestion. You know how to command your hormones instead of being a victim to them. The next time you sit down for a meal, I want you to remember this physiological reality. Do not let the modern food industry dictate how your body processes energy. Take a moment to look at your plate and strategize like a biological engineer. Identify the fiber, identify the protein, and save the starches for last. It is a small, completely free decision that takes zero extra time, but it has the power to heal you from the inside out. Your gut microbiome is desperately waiting for you to feed it. Your metabolic engine is waiting to be reset. Put your armor on first, and watch how your body responds to this perfect biological protocol. If you found this scientific breakdown helpful and you are ready to take back control of your health, please subscribe to our channel and leave a comment below telling me what your next meal is going to be and how you plan to sequence it. I read every single one.